Hey guys, this is Chris with Financial Fitness. And today I want to show you my new wallet. Look at that. A friend of mine made me that. I keep my Fiat currency in here. Right here. Not to be confused with real money. And if any of you guys have the desire to hold real money in a part of your portfolio, I recommend 10%. That's it. 10% up to 50. That's up to you. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a welder. But I don't want to be part of the problem. And I don't want y'all to be part of the problem. I want you to be part of the solution when this thing turns around. See, bonds, if you buy bonds right now, you're pretty much guaranteed negative 7% real yield. You're going to lose money. You're going to lose not as much as inflation, but you're going to lose money in bonds. So should we put our money in stocks? Stonks? I don't know. They're at an all-time high. I would never buy something that is expensive hoping it goes more expensive. That's just not the way I roll. I try to buy things that are, undervalued, that are not on everybody's radar. And you were just looking at it. This is out of favor. Nobody's talking about it. There's some of us are. But when you understand what's going on, you'll want to hear more about it. And I'm also a big fan of precious metals mining stocks. The junior miners, those are going to move like crypto one day. Don't know when. I'm the world's worst at timing. Just know that. I'm early. I'm always early. I don't think I'm wrong, though. I'm just a little bit early. But that's the point. You want to be where the puck's going. Wayne Gretzky. So let's kind of go over what's going on. Right now, Russia has got 100 to 170,000 troops at the Ukraine border. Now, we're supposed to be protecting Ukraine. I don't know enough to get into the details. I just know that is a lot of resources to be stuck over there to do nothing. So we've got that going on. China is desperately wanting Taiwan. They're going to take Taiwan one day. We don't know when. With this pushover president we got, who knows? Could be tomorrow. So there is global unrest. Everything's kind of up in the air. And as I'm looking around, I'm seeing people laissez-faire, building swimming pools, not really paying attention. I don't have anything wrong with swimming pools. I just hope they have 10 to 20 to 30% of this in their portfolio, because heaven forbid the banks shut the doors. There's a run on the bank. There's, any of these things could happen. Everything is on the table. Anything post 2020 is real. It's a possibility. I mean, we live in the Thunderdome now. So I want to roll a little clip from the Great Depression. Check it out.
You hear the same things in every bubble. This time is different. It's a different financial world. It's a new financial world. In fact, Groucho Marx went to his broker at some point and said, I just don't understand how these prices just keep going up. And the broker said to him, well, you just have to understand that it's a global economy now. And this was 1928, 1929. Gee, I think I've heard that sometime since then.
Some professional speculators sensed that the market was overheating. The more astute got out during the summer.
Doesn't that sound familiar? Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Walton family. Look at all these huge super stock sellers. They are getting ahead of the curve. Don't let them lie to you guys. Now, there's a lot of us that have these stocks. Amazon, Google, Facebook, Walmart, the big ones that are at all-time highs. And the CEOs and the owners are selling. So that should be kind of a, hey, look what's going on. That's what I'm trying to show y'all. Look at these things happening right in front of our eyes, because it's so hard to see it. It's so hard to see when it's actually happening, and it's so easy to do nothing. And that's what I want to encourage y'all, just to sell a little bit of it if you can make yourself do it, and buy a little bit of this stuff that they can't take away from you, because I'm usually the first loser in the stock market. That's why I don't really mess with it much. I let Sprott handle my gold and silver miner stocks because I'm just not very good at timing. but I can see the narrative really good. Now, as we all know, the banks failed in 1929. There was a run on the banks. Check out the footage.
There was no way to back up the banks. So if the banks had made bad choices, you as a depositor paid for it. You went to go get your money, it wasn't there. And then people would hear that the bank down the street wasn't good, and they worried about their own bank, and then that would cause a run on their bank. And it became a terrible, vicious cycle. And something like 3,000 banks closed in the following couple of years after that. The whole financial system then seemed not just unstable, but worthless.
Now, everybody's familiar with the bailout now. You know, in 2008, when the housing market thing happened, the big brother government just stepped in and said, no, here's some money. They whipped up a bunch of this funny money, and they bailed them out. And everything went back to some sort of normal. It's one of those phases, one of those, oh no, what's happening? And then we have this little hope phase. And the only thing that happened is it stole from the savers. So if you're holding cash when inflation's happening, you're losing. They're stealing your purchasing power. You know, just think if you saved all the money that you had your whole life in dollars, all your savings, you never invested it. It would be a very bad thing to do. Now, if you put it in this, you'd be doing okay. Just as good as the S&P 500, matter of fact. So now we're not worried about a bailout. We know the government's going to do that from can to can't. And when they can't, they're going to do a bail-in. That is a real thing. That's where the bank says, oh, we're out of money. Oh, we're just going to take your money and use it, you know? Nana boo-boo, you know, you're done. And you're like, what? And that's just the way it works. You lose, they win. Bankers are not, they're not going to lose. They're going to come out on that part anyway. In the end, I don't think they will, because I think this is going to do pretty good one day. Now, a lot of you say, what about crypto? Well, crypto is a speculation. Sorry, Bitcoin maxis. I think it's great. I invest in it. I speculate on it. I do believe in one day it'll be something one day, probably, if the government allows it. And everybody says, oh, it's decentralized. Whatever. Janet Yellen could come out and mumble a few negative words about it, and it would hit the gutter. And then if the lights went off, it'd look like cigarette butts on the sidewalk. But that's the time where you could take a little bit of this and turn it into crypto, and ride that wave of it and then buy. You know what I'm saying? The problem I see with people using this for their bank, putting their wealth in this, is they hold on to it forever like they don't want to get rid of it. Because when you get a piece of it, it's kind of like, wow, you kind of feel like you want to keep it. It's not something you want to spend. This stuff, fiat currency, it's just different. I want y'all to experience, though. Click that link and buy some, because it's a different reality when you hold real money. Guys, this is Chris with Financial Fitness, and I just want to encourage you, if you got a bunch of money in crypto and stocks and mutual funds and bonds and all this other stuff that could be gone like that, just take a little bit of it and buy some precious metals. I hope y'all have an awesome day. Like and subscribe and ring the bell. I will see you tomorrow.